We're focusing on your driver, and your answers indicate you have what we would call a pull, so a shot that starts left of target and then flies reasonably straight. You've also told us that your preference would be to play with a draw, so start the ball slightly right of target and then have it curve back towards target to the left. Your pull is caused by an out to in swing path, where the club head is travelling to the left of target through impact, and you have a square face. So when the face points in the same direction as the club head is travelling, the ball flies straight. For the draw, we need to change both of these. So we need an in to out swing path where the club head is travelling to the right of target. And we need a closed face. So when the face points to the left of the direction of the swing, the ball curves to the left through the air. First, the swing path. So we've got a couple of alignment sticks on the floor to help us out. They're set out in a V shape that starts around the toes of my right foot, and if they're standard length alignment sticks, the distance between the end of the sticks would pretty much match the length of the club shaft. The first thing to notice would be if we were to take the club to the top of the swing and I asked you to put your club shaft on top of the orange stick, you'd make what most people call an over the top move. And this puts the club in a position where the club head is on the outside of the target line, which means it's going to move severely left of target through impact. On the other hand, if we were to say, bring your club shaft down on top of the white stick, you'd have to bring the club much more down, what you might describe as behind you. So from here, the club head is in a position where it can very easily swing from in to out. So we've got two elements. We've got a downswing that starts more downward as opposed to outward. And then once you've got that, release the club head out to the right across the target line. Once we've got this, we need to look at the club face. So it's important to understand that with all golf swings, the club face opens as we take the club from setup to the top of the swing. And there's a very important job to do from the top of the swing back to impact, which is to reverse the opening. In other words, we need to rotate the club back towards square and have it arrive at impact appropriate for the shot we want to hit. So in your case, you will be opening the face as you swing back and squaring it back up again for impact on the way down, which is why you have your straight ball flight. Now what we need to do is get you to twist this club to square a little bit sooner, so by the time it reaches the ball, the toe of the club has already overtaken the heel and the face is slightly closed. So how we do this is by rotating the club around its shaft, which of course by us is controlled at the grip end. So let's take our setup, go to the top of the swing and bring the club down back on our checkpoint, which would be the club head more behind us. Now wherever the club face is, if we were to apply a little bit of a twist to the grip, you would see the face rotate and it would point more down towards the ground. So this is the face going from open towards square. Now it won't be square yet. There's still work to do from here to the ball. But at least we've done some of the work by the time we get to this position, so we have less to do in the last moments of the downswing. So the release, which currently you would be thinking about getting the club to move out towards impact and across the target line, we need to add the continuation of the twisting of the face. So the toe of the club has got to continue to move towards the heel and ideally overtake it just before impact. So from here, again, move the club head out towards the ball, but continue the twisting of the grip and watch the toe of the club overtake the heel by the time it gets to the ball. And if we can make these two moves, we will have an in to out swing path and the closed face that we need to hit the draw. So best thing to do is rehearse this a few times with a pause. So set up just inside the golf ball, go to the top, bring it down and pause, and make sure you've got this club behind you and that you've started pointing the face a little bit more down to the floor with this twist, and then send the club out towards the ball, continuing the twist of the face. And if you can feel those two moves, make a full flowing practice swing from beginning to end. Slightly slower at first, so it gives you time to focus on the feelings. And as it gets comfortable, you can speed it up until you feel like it's a reasonably normal swing. And if you still feel you're identifying these two movements of the club coming down behind you, moving out to the right, and the face is closing, it's time to hit a golf shot. The ball will tell you whether you've done it enough, you've got your little draw, whether you've not done it enough and you're still hitting a bit of a pull, or whether you've overdone it and you're hitting hooks. So again, a full speed rehearsal, and hit a shot.